Have you ever wondered why some stories are ignored by major media outlets? Events like protests, clashes with the police, and even journalists being threatened with arrest often don't make the headlines. Today, we're going to dive into a massive anti-immigration protest in Dublin, where GB News reporter Dougie Beattie was threatened with arrest live on air. If you want to uncover the stories the mainstream media doesn't want to share, make sure to hit that subscribe button on Anywhere Diary to stay updated with the latest news. Today, we head to the capital of Ireland, Dublin, where a massive protest is taking place against the government's immigration policies. Thousands of people have taken to the streets, expressing their anger over Ireland's growing acceptance of refugees from around the world. What's striking, however, is that this event has been strangely ignored by major media outlets. Why are the news networks, which are usually quick to cover breaking stories, turning a blind eye to this protest? To understand this situation better, let's delve into the case of Dougie Beattie, a reporter for GB News who went to Dublin to cover the protest. This is a prime example of how press freedom can be constrained in the context of social and political tensions in Ireland. Beattie, an experienced journalist, arrived in Dublin with the goal of documenting the reality on the ground and providing honest, unbiased information to his viewers. However, as he was trying to carry out his work, Beattie not only faced challenges from protesters, but also from law enforcement authorities. According to reports, Dougie Beattie was blocked by Dublin police while reporting from the streets. Despite presenting his credentials as a journalist and explaining the nature of his work, the police ordered him to stop filming and leave the protest area. The situation escalated when officers threatened to arrest him if he didn't comply with their commands. This raises many questions about press freedom and whether journalists can safely carry out their duties in such sensitive events. Beattie's case is not an isolated one. Several other journalists have reported being threatened or restricted from reporting during recent protests in Ireland. Journalists are tasked with offering a truthful and objective perspective on events, but when press freedom is curtailed, it can lead to a distortion in how events are covered. Dougie Beattie's case quickly caught public attention, with many international human rights organisations advocating for him. They have called on the Irish government to respect press freedom and ensure that journalists can operate safely and without intimidation from law enforcement. This incident reflects a troubling reality. In times of social crisis, freedom of speech and the press can be challenged. This isn't just an issue for Ireland, but serves as a lesson for other countries on the importance of protecting journalistic freedom. If journalists are threatened or obstructed while reporting on critical political and social events, it erodes the public's trust in the information system. Beattie's case highlights not only the tensions in Dublin, but also serves as a wake-up call about the necessity of maintaining press freedom under all circumstances, especially when political and social issues are at the forefront of public interest. The protest in Dublin is just a small part of the bigger picture of social tensions spreading across Ireland. To understand what's really happening, we need to take a look at the political and social background of the country over the past few years, especially its immigration policies and the impact they've had on local communities. In 2023 alone, Ireland has taken in over 50,000 immigrants, including 25,000 refugees, nearly doubling the numbers from previous years. Under pressure from the European Union and humanitarian organisations, the Irish government has had to open its borders to support the influx of people fleeing conflict and instability. However, many locals feel that the pace and scale of this are too large to manage effectively. The infrastructure in Ireland was not designed to accommodate such a large number of people in a short time. This has led to severe overcrowding in public services such as healthcare, education, and housing. This image shows temporary shelters set up in Dublin to temporarily house refugees. But the inadequate and unsafe living conditions have fueled anger within the local community. Ireland's public services were already facing many challenges. The healthcare system, schools, and housing are currently under immense pressure. Many Irish citizens report waiting months for medical care, while children are unable to secure enough places in local schools. For them, the issue goes beyond the increasing number of immigrants. It's also about the decline in the quality of daily life. For many protesters, the issue isn't just about overloaded infrastructure. It's also about preserving the cultural identity of the nation. They are concerned that with the acceptance of a large number of immigrants, Ireland's traditional culture will gradually fade away. One of the common slogans at this protest was "Save Ireland," a call to protect the cultural and social values that they have maintained through generations. Especially in rural areas and small towns, people feel that they are being left out of the national political process. These quaint villages and tightly knit communities are witnessing rapid changes that many find unsettling. One protester even stated, "We don't oppose immigrants, but the way the government imposes these policies without the people's consent is something we cannot accept." Experts suggest that these protests reflect not only dissatisfaction with immigration issues, but also outrage over how the government and media address the concerns of the public. Dr. Sean O'Malley, an immigration policy expert at Dublin University, commented, "The immigration crisis is revealing deep-seated contradictions within Irish society. People feel that their voices are not being heard, while policies being implemented have a direct impact on their lives." It is particularly noteworthy that most of the protests in Dublin and across Ireland have taken place peacefully. The people simply want the government to listen and engage in dialogue with them about these important issues. However, the indifference of major media outlets has exacerbated the anger, as many feel that their voices are being distorted and misunderstood. One thing worth contemplating is that not everyone opposes helping refugees. Many people in Ireland believe that supporting those fleeing war and crisis is a moral obligation. However, they also feel that there needs to be careful consideration regarding how and to what extent they are welcomed, so as not to create unnecessary social tensions. The Irish government, instead of listening and engaging in dialogue, seems to be choosing to evade the issue. Politicians make vague statements about addressing the immigration crisis, but there is very little public discussion regarding these protests. This only adds to the frustration of the people and makes them feel more isolated than ever. The government's and police's opposition is not just a reaction to the protesting crowds, but also a response to the fear of an increasingly polarised society. These images are not only about the conflicts on the streets of Dublin, but also signal that Irish society is facing a significant challenge. The story here is not just about a protest, it's a manifestation of deeper conflicts within Irish society. In a country with a small population and a rich cultural heritage like Ireland, rapid social changes can lead to long-lasting consequences. The people are concerned that without policy adjustments and genuine public engagement, Ireland could fall into a state of even greater division. Not just Ireland, many other countries in the European Union are also facing similar issues. The pressure from EU immigration policies pushes member states into a position where they must balance humanitarian obligations with social stability. This dilemma is particularly acute in nations like Greece and Italy, which have borne the brunt of migrant arrivals. These countries are often at the forefront of debates on immigration policy, leading to tensions both within their borders and with their neighbours. The question arises, how can we responsibly accept immigrants without compromising the social and cultural harmony of the nation? The EU has implemented various measures to manage migration, such as the Common European Asylum System and the relocation mechanisms aimed at distributing asylum seekers more evenly across member states. However, these systems have been met with resistance from several countries that feel overwhelmed by the influx of migrants. A significant concern is the rise of far-right movements that capitalize on anti-immigrant sentiments, often using fear-mongering tactics to sway public opinion. This polarization can create an environment where constructive dialogue is nearly impossible, further complicating the issue of immigration policy. These large waves of migration, partly driven by war, conflict, and climate change, are unlikely to stop in the near future. Governments in European countries, including Ireland, will need to find long-term solutions to manage migration without causing rifts within society. This requires commitment and dialogue from both sides, the authorities and the citizens. One approach could involve local governments engaging communities in discussions about the benefits of immigration and the contributions that migrants can make to society. Initiatives that promote cultural exchange and integration can help bridge divides and foster a sense of belonging for newcomers, while also addressing the concerns of local populations. Moreover, investing in public services to handle increased demand, such as healthcare, housing, and education, can alleviate some of the pressures that come with rising immigration rates. Additionally, European countries must work collaboratively to tackle the root causes of migration. This includes addressing the conditions that force individuals to flee their homes, such as poverty, political instability, and environmental degradation. By investing in development projects and peace-building initiatives in countries of origin, European nations can help mitigate future migration pressures. In conclusion, the challenges surrounding immigration are complex and multifaceted. Addressing these issues requires not just policy changes, but also a shift in public discourse. Fostering a culture of empathy and understanding, where the voices of both locals and newcomers are heard, will be crucial in finding sustainable solutions that benefit all members of society. The protests in Ireland serve as a powerful reminder that our society stands at a significant crossroads. Can we find a balance between helping refugees and protecting community stability? Answering this question requires cooperation, dialogue, and compassion from both sides. Finally, be sure to follow Anywhere Diary to discover untold stories and delve deeper into the complex issues in our society. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you won't miss out on the most important information.